and and then this band comes out, and this is who I was coming to see. Comes out with you come out with a huge wig,
Mhm.
powdered wig, huge thing that I ended up wearing later on tonight, but that's a whole other story. And how would you describe your sound then? SpaceCream sound,
Well, it was I think it was really a glam band,
right?
like a '70s Ziggy Stardust glam band. Um, and with I mean, there were always hints of other stuff. I have like, for instance, Dracula, which a lot of people really liked. Leave Dracula Alone, which was one of our tracks.
Mm-hmm.
That was it was a little bit more post punk or gothy, more into like the Bauhaus vein, but it was always rooted in sort of traditional glam rock
Right,
and roll.
but your vocals are go beyond the typical glam
Yeah, the vocals
style.
are, well, I don't know, they get compared to Ann Wilson a lot, which is really
Mm-hmm.
cool. I actually wasn't.
Not too shabby.
It's not too shabby. I'm really flattered. I've become a huge fan of Heart ever since I got that in a couple of reviews. I wasn't.
You weren't a fan before?
I wasn't a major connoisseur of Heart. I mean, I always thought Barracuda was badass.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I hadn't really listened through them, and then once I heard that a couple times, I made it a point to go listen back through several albums, and man, those Wilson girls.
Yeah.
Oh God, they're incredible, and apparently just like one take. Apparently they're just genius.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have a friend who
Are you one take?
um sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes if I'm recording for other people, I can do it in a take.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm doing it for myself, I'm very OCD.
Okay.
So I usually comp out
Dave,
of a
Dave, you want to
couple.
chime in here?
She's one take. I've seen her do it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, thanks. But for an album, I'll do several and then do a comp.
Make sure, yeah.
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 But I don't really do auto tune, which I like.
Well, I would, yeah. If I had your voice, I wouldn't auto tune either. If I had my voice, I would put on all sorts of auto tune, but that's just me. But your voice it's very soulful.
Thank you.
I'm sure other people have said that.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It's kind of it's sort of an R&B voice fronting a rock band.
huh. That's actually the first time I've gotten that.
That-
But I have been mistaken for an African American woman before someone met me. Like someone met me and they were like, "Oh my God, you're white," and I was like, "Sorry."
Well, people were perplexed in front of the studios. Two guys came up to you. They didn't know what to do.
Why was that though? Oh, they just
Oh,
thought I was British.
I had was that what they said? Because I had no idea what they were. Two guys come up to her. We're talking. And they're like, "Excuse me, we have to ask, where are you from?" He's like, "From here." And they're like, "Okay." I'm like, "What was that?"
No, they were saying, "Oh, we thought you were from the UK
Oh,
because they're
really?
British."
Oh, okay. Oh, I missed that whole point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have gone to the UK with one of them.
I'm sure you would.
Hey.
Well, I mean, you are.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Hot.
I'll take your word for it. So, but you are a California girl, but you have the most pale, wonderful skin.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm sort of like a penguin that grew up in the desert. It didn't make any sense.
How do you keep that paleness? Because I want every woman out there to figure this one out, because you know how much I like pale skin.
Well, no, I mean there are all sorts of incredible complexions. I love every skin tone. For me, I can't really tan. When I lived in Spain, they always called me crema, and
Right.
they'd make fun of me because I wouldn't tan. And if I did get a lot of sun, I would just burn. So
Right.
I just have to wear inordinate amounts of sunscreen.
Okay.
And but I still go to the beach and what have you. I'm careful about the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think, but when I saw you at the Warped Tour thing, you kind of blindsided everybody. People, there were a couple bands that were they brought a large portion of the crowd.
Mhm.
I thought they were gonna win,
Yeah.
and you guys just blew everybody away.
A couple. There was some. Yeah.
There weren't bad. There were some good bands.
Yeah. And some people were not happy that we won.
Oh, really? Do
There's-
tell.
Nah, I'm not going to go into it. But there's always, whenever there's a level of competition involved, people can get a little
Sour grapes.
sour grapes. Which it's a good lesson. It's something that I've all creative professionals
Right.
have to sort of go through, and
Like if
And
one
I've
of,
seen it on myself, and I'm like, oh, it's a bad look.
I was gonna say, if one of those bands got it instead of you after your performance, would have you been a little?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, fuck yeah. At the time,
Yes.
God, what was I? I was like 23 and super high. So yeah, definitely.
Oh, I didn't know either one of those. So
Yeah.
so then you end up performing at the Warped Tour. How was that? This was the prize that you won.
It was, with the show at RIP, the Hollywood House of Blues, was fantastic.
Right.
That was just amazing, performing in front of so many people, and
It was one of those where everything just converged on you. And
yeah, everything just kind of came together, and then we got to Warped Tour, and we played really early.
Yeah.
And we had just played a show the night before, and then we drove out there, and like barely.
San Bernardino.
No, it was in. God, where was it? I can't remember. It was.
Yeah.
It was basically like a massive parking lot.
Right.
And I forgot to put on sunscreen. I got the worst sunburn of my entire life, and spent the whole ride home sobbing and like feverish while my bass player rubbed aloe vera on me. So yeah, it wasn't. It was, it wasn't.
So how early were we talking about?
We were on like 11:45. It was
11:45 in the morning.
Oh yeah, we were on early.
And how many people were checking you out?
Not that many. I mean, we were just on too early. Like,
right.
It's so isolated that if you're on after, I think, 1, then there's only 1 or 2 stages to go to, so people just kind of converge.
Right.
But then if you're on super early, people are just coming in, so they're just walking around, so it wasn't very, and you only get like a 20-30 minute set.
So the contest was better than the prize.
Contest was better than the prize. Not that I have anything against Warped Tour. It was just we were on.
No, I know
super early.
that's they've got 300 bands they got to get through.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. But yeah, that was funny.
If you ever go to Warped Tour again, your sunscreen.
Well, it's done now.
Oh, that's right.
This
That's
was
right.
the
It's
last
done.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's over?
yeah. They just
Yes,
had the last one.
It's finally dead.
No,
Oh.
it'll pick back up in a couple years, Dave.
Yeah, probably.
Trust me. Everybody.
Also, we were not the right genre for that thing.
Right.
At all. I mean, it was all these like screamo bands that had, and actually when we got there, the guys kept asking me, where's your line out? Where are your plugins? And I was like, well, I have a mic that plugs in. I genuinely didn't know because I'd never used tracks or anything like that. So I'd always been such a straight rock and roll chick, and they were really shocked because everybody there uses tracks, and they have, it's kind of these like minor harmonies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these like screaming and then doing these minor sad harmonies. It's
So
really funny.
so all these screamo and punk bands are using.
It wasn't really punk. It was
Yeah.
not punk there. It was very much like screamo and
Right.
like and kind of pop metal.
Okay.
So it was all totally outside of the scene of what I was used to.
Right.
So we were kind of the odd ducks in that situation as well.
Oh, okay. So it was kind of like it's kind of like going to the Rainbow on a Saturday night and hearing pop metal.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for young people doing it. Anyway, Xavier, I'm glad to see you.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. When we were talking about erotica before, I was referencing that last I saw you were transitioning out of being a big erotica writer, big in the Bay Area and gay world, and now you had just put out your werewolf novel, Lily, which I've been scouring on Amazon and other review places. Very well received.
Thank you. The erotica thing kind of imploded. There was a moment where the market got super saturated, and everybody was writing it, and everybody was reading it, and then all of my publishers closed, and including the Examiner. So everything went down in a matter of, 6 months.
Yeah.
Which gave me this moment to really shed that skin. I had been done writing it for a while. I had one last story that was pretty much 80% done. I wanted to get that published, and then once that was published, kind of shed it forever and get back to horror, because no matter how hard I wrote erotica, it always came across as horror.